All right, next, got a funny guy coming out here. Everybody give it up. Bryan Group. Man, how's everyone doing?
Yeah.
Woo, yeah. Man, that last guy, Lawrence, he was funny. I'd rather follow someone that sucks. I got to keep his energy level up, too. He was jumping around, screaming. I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to try. So, we got a good crowd out here tonight. Probably going to keep going with the same stuff, basically, we've been seeing. Most comics do the same stuff. Sex, religion, got some Jesus jokes coming later, and usually family or in-law jokes, so I'm going to keep it rolling. I brought a couple people out here with me tonight. For some reason, my in-laws didn't come. I don't know. I think they just aren't fun people, but I can't figure that one out. A lot of comics we saw here tonight. A lot of them, I don't think anyone yet has had, I don't think any of these guys have had a catchphrase here. A lot of the professional comics, the other thing they do, they get that catchphrase. If they do get up here and they start bombing or not getting laughs, like kind of getting a little bit of right now, they just go right to their catchphrase. Get her done. Yes, Larry the Cable Guy. I had a gay friend that I've been trying to come out to see me to the comedy club here. I said, you have a lot of fun up here, you know, coming out to the comedy club. Trying to get my gay friend to come out to the comedy club. It's too easy tonight. And I say, he goes, I don't know about that comedy, that Larry the Cable Guy. I don't know about him. I'd like to take that cable and shove it straight up his ass. So wait a second. You just said you didn't like Larry the Cable Guy. But I've been working on my catchphrase. My catchphrase is, hold on, people. I do this part-time. So, I have a full-time job, unlike some of the other comics that went tonight that are unemployed. I'm a little tired right now. It was a long day at work. The other guys were like sleeping till 2. Coworker of mine, she's been making work difficult. She's on the Weight Watchers. Any people out there on the Weight Watchers? No? Any of the heckle people over here on Weight Watchers?
What are you looking here for?
They didn't have anything to say to that one. Okay. So, you came to see me? All right, thank you. You're actually pretty hot over there for a cougar. I'm sure he did. Hey, Dad's here tonight. Let's give it up for Dad. Woo, yeah. Way to go, Dad. So she's making work tough because she's on the Weight Watcher. She's in an awful mood. So why don't you just give it up, you know, whatever. Well, her boyfriend's in the armed forces. I think he's over in Africa. So when he comes back, he said he doesn't want her to gain any weight. And I said, well, what's the matter if you gain weight anyway? He's in Africa, so no matter what you do, you're going to look fat. She said, well, if he comes back, she's living in his house now. She said, he's going to kick me out the door. I said, just keep eating until you don't fit out the door. I do this part-time. This is intermission while I flip my sheet. I missed that one. What was that?
I said it's working.
All right, thank you. So, a couple things up here. I try really hard not to offend people. So sometimes, like the fat jokes, I'm not fat, so maybe I shouldn't tell fat jokes. I could gain weight, and then I could tell all the fat jokes I want. That would be one. The other guy told some Jesus jokes, I guess. He kind of looked like Jesus. He could get away with those. That would help you out. Racist jokes. Don't think if I painted my face black that they'd go any better than telling them without the black face paint. Like, for instance, in Civil War times, part-time comedian here. In Civil War times, do you think if time travel were possible, do you think if the North could foresee what would become of black culture today, they'd have thrown it? Like, if Ulysses S. Grant came back, hey guys, I just time traveled. I saw Big Mama's house too. We're burning Washington to the ground. General, don't you mean Richmond? No, we're taking down Washington. It's not good. So I could tell some sexist jokes up here. I could cross-dress. I don't know if I could pull that one off in this country, though. If I were a comedian in Iran, I think I would be a cross-dresser and tell some sexist jokes in Iran. That's the easiest country to cross-dress in. You know, be over there. Hey, Muhammad, I like the tall girl. It's easy, but the problem is if you get caught, you get stoned to death, which isn't good. I didn't write that one. Actually, a guy was mad at me that he wrote that one. He said, "Don't use the Iranian joke. That's my joke. Don't you write it. Don't you say it. I wrote it." So I'm going to give it back to him because that one wasn't funny tonight. So I'll say, you know what, take your joke back. So I got married recently. We're thinking of having kids down the road in the future. What I'd like to do with our kids, though, I wish they'd cut back some of the stipulations they have on genetic engineering. Because my wife's white, and I want a black kid. Because I want him to be an athlete. So I think we should just get in there, tweak the chromosomes, black them up. But everyone's uptight about that. So I think what we need to do, I think we need to get back on the cloning regulations. And I think the first thing we need to do to get cloning back, or get cloning accepted by mainstream America, is go get some DNA off the Shroud of Turin, pop out a new Jesus. I think clone Jesus would be all for cloning. But once he comes back, and he, for all we know, Jesus could be black too. Once he comes back, what would modern day Jesus do? I think he would be an athlete. I think that would be the best way for him to preach his message to people. I think he'd be an athlete. What sport would he play? Well, he could be a pitcher for a Major League Baseball team. I think he'd play for the Angels. I think he'd be a relief pitcher. I think he'd lead the league in saves. Maybe he'd be an MMA fighter. His finishing move would be the crucifixion. Or I'd like to see him be an NFL quarterback, because they're pretty dynamic guys. I think that's what he'd be. Only problem is they pick up on him pretty quick, because he'd be throwing nothing but Hail Marys all day. I think the next step then, once cloning is accepted, I think the next thing we need to do is start mixing shit together. Like, I like beef and I like pork. So I think it would be pretty cool if we mixed the two together, see what that tasted like. Actually, I think they already did that back in the 60s when they created my mother-in-law. She's a pretty accurate representation of what you'd get if you mix together a cow and a pig. Oh, you sound like you're getting excited over there, sir. I wouldn't get too excited. I think if anyone had the balls to eat her, I don't think she would taste well. That might be why they don't come. I don't know. I don't think they like that joke. So, thanks, everyone. You were great.
If you're going to Bryan Group? All right. That's a disgusting joke. Whenever I